index server. Okay. Index server is used for proximity queries and those things. I will see that. But when you're indexing your database, you are generating also or as well what we call NAVREP, navigation representation. This is a kind of CGR from V5. But it's similar format, let's say different format, but it's also a format used for the visualization. As I don't run a 3D index server on my computer, so I don't have a thumbnail generated on my database. So you see only symbolic representation. If I want to generate it, I can do it manually. I can click on NAVREP index builder, and I can generate it. I will generate it. I generate it just for this time to be able to see it. Of course, once I generate it, then every time I will open or navigate our database, it will be there. When I have the new file and I make the propagate, okay, kind of staging to the database, I will see that, of course, later. I will automatically generate this navigation representation. You can see that? It's done. So now you are doing it manually. Yeah, I did it manually because I'm not connected to how to call it? Index server, yes.
You don't need to have index server to run.
No, but index server is used mainly for the search, proximity search, and not necessarily. Right now I've generated my NAVREP. So I can check I forgot what I was talking about. Okay, so I unlocked my data. You can see that my data are unlocked. Everything is transparent. Now, I was speaking about the team maturity. Okay, maturity status. So, maturity status, when I look on my, I will propagate it. I will be open. I missed some buttons. Okay. When you see, you can see that now right before it, my thumbnails, my navigation representation is kept. Okay? I have no more symbol. I want to check my maturity status. Not a good example. I will select another example. Because I want to see these different colors. Okay, it doesn't matter. You can see, in fact, I have this gray color because I have no status, so it's not defined. But I can change it. I will select the part, I will click on these two green arrows, which symbolize the maturity status, and I will change the maturity status. What can I see? So current status is in red. So CATIA you can scroll the list, and in the list you can see to freeze, to release, to remove. So in fact, CATIA will automatically propose you to change, or CATIA will automatically filter for you the list of possible changes. You can see that I cannot, so in Word, I could not put in obsolete status. Okay, you can see that. Why do we put it in to freeze status? Here I can see when my arrows are green, it means that I can perform these maturity status changes. Okay, and I click on OK. So my maturity status is changed. I will highlight it. have the right color. I can see that the color change, but I see very strange color. So I don't know if it's due to the graphic card. I can see only that the color has been changed. I will switch again. So again, I'm in free statues, in frozen statues. In this case, for frozen, I can delete files, so I can remove them. I can release them, or I can unfreeze, so to put them back to in workspace. So it's done. And I will see. You can see that the color changed. I'm sorry for colors. I have no idea what's behind. Maybe you see the right colors. I don't see exactly the same colors. I see all files are in work statues, but if I change the maturity again, I will freeze them. You can see that the color changed, but unfortunately it's not yellow. But it's very due to the graphic card. I need to check it. Okay? If I want, for example, unfreeze it, I don't want to use remove because or to release because then I will not be able to edit it. I want to use this data for the training.
If the color is red, what does it?
It shouldn't be red.
I've changed status to frozen. One part is frozen, it's yellow, but the rest of the part are red.
Rest of the parts are red. Try to propagate your data. Click on here to save that. Okay. I hope it's clear. Is it clear more or less this maturity or not? How to change it, what does it mean? Did you?
Yes.
Did you, are you there? Is it clear for you?
Yes.
Okay. And I have another personal question. Could you reach the connection to me?
No.
Still not?
Yes.
Okay, so I hope it's clear.
Mute off.
I will continue. So, with these symbols, when it's green, of course, why we come here? I will select the complete assembly, okay? I want to change the maturity statute. Wait, I will select that another example. Bigger assembly, sorry. So with two parts, it's not a good example. One part, but it's not a good one. I want to show you why we can see these two green arrows, why we use it, for what we use it. At least one part we can not see so much difference. In fact, with these green arrows, you are selecting or unselecting the parts of the assembly for which you don't want to change the statute. And come back maybe in the presentation. So when it's green, okay, it means that the chosen transition can be applied, okay. until my files are loaded exactly. In between, I would like to ask you if you have the chance to play with VTs already about performances. Is it slow or it is good enough? You know that I know that you're playing at the same time. Is it okay for you, the connection to VT server? I mean, the speed.
Yeah, speed is not the time, but I can provide.
Okay, I'm actually it because you can see that you will not be around. I'm waiting as well for the data. Okay, I will continue the PowerPoint. We have seen that how it works. You select the part you want to change, and you have different information on the window which appears. First, choose transition. Of course, CATIA filters for you the list of possible transitions which can be performed on the selected part, 3D part, or assembly. Okay? You select the one of the possible from the list, one status, and you click on OK. Not responding. Okay, fine. Okay, I will try to work as it is. I will continue with. Sorry, I will just need to close my receipt. I will come back, of course, to that. But I will continue versioning because we are still talking about lifecycle operation. And versioning, of course, you can create a new version of the product. When you have an example, for me, when the object is, when you create a new version of the project of the version A, you create the version B, it calls versioning. Or something like creating a new flow in CATIA V5. Right? You create a new object, it means that you will change also the ID. Okay? You will keep only the relationships and attributes. It means you keep the form, the shape. But then the statues, majority statues. You have two different possibilities how to do a new version. Either is using the toolbar I showed you, or the second one is when you are propagating your data to the database. If you're propagating means save. I will launch my CATIA V6 now. I forgot the password. Okay, I remember the password now. Sorry. So, I will launch again my V6. This connection successful. I will search for some data. Okay, and I will take, for example, this one. Explore. I explore this data and check the maturity. It did work. I have the right colors now. Okay, I explode it again on the turntable. I check the maturity status again. Now, imagine I select the maturity status and I put it to 3. And by double clicking here, I can check, select or not if I want to change the status or not. Imagine I have the list of products and I want to expel some parts from the changes. So I can do that. I double click on the symbol and these 2-3 arrows will be crossed by the red cross will appear. Means I will not change the status. I will do 3, and you can see. Okay, let's take this one. Here, for example, you can see I have several things. I think, for example, this, for example, I will put to ready status. Just check. I will change the maturity status. You can see that the maturity status changed. Okay. And I change it, and now it's really colorful. So this was about the color status. Now I want to create a new version I was talking about. So again, I'm still in this lifecycle toolbar. I click on new version. And I select the part I want to create a new version from. So in fact, I will make a kind of copy of this version, but the maturity status will not be kept. I can even apply the date for when I want to create this new version. I have a look then brand junction. I will look for the main part. Sorry, the 3D part. And you can see that I have 2 different versions. This is my original version, okay? And A is a new version I have created. You can see the A letter, which were added, okay, to differentiate the version 1. So I copied, if I explore this one, you can see that I have exactly the same part. I kept the design and all these relations, but I did not keep the status. Okay, this was not copied. And as what I told you, all new project, new part starts with inward maturity status. Okay, this here. I can open in CATIA, or in the outright window, sorry. As you can hear, I used to also say I open it in CATIA, but we are already in CATIA. So I open it and I will show you how all these 4 lifecycle operations can be performed in one using the propagate. That is my propagate. When I click on propagate window, it's kind of, I save the modification to the database. It's kind of, for those who know Smartphone, it's kind of check-in in Smartphone, okay? I don't want to make too many paraphrases to existing products because we are in V6, but it helps you to understand. When I select one of the parts to propagate, you can see that I can change the maturity status from here or create a new version from here as well. Okay? The meaning is exactly the same, but we will come back to that. So, I hope it's clear. you a summary. So, we have seen the different file-based design imports, so we can import CATIA files like send-out step, IJs, and so on. But we can differentiate it or identify this imported data using some identification string and so that we can add a kind of string name of the part. We have talked about 3D file formats quite a lot, so we have two different 3D file formats for reviewing with authoring. Searching and reviewing. I hope you remember. You can search using the search bar, so I switch to CATIA. So this is the search bar, or I can use advanced search, easy extended on expert. I can access it. Here I modify the search criteria, or I can access it directly from PLM Access and advanced search. Okay? I can, then once I got the list with the results, I can change the different visualization, nothing special. Okay. I can perform different lifecycle operations in my part. It means I can log and unlock the data. What is important when I use the lock or unlock, I use it in case of concurrent engineering, it's very important to avoid that someone else is performing the modification on the same part at the same time. Okay? If you are alone in the company, working alone on the computer on the database, so that you are sure that no one else can perform the modification, then it's useless to use log or unlock status. You can change your maturity status, okay, from invalid to frozen, release, obsolete, remove. What is important is that you cannot, once the product is released, you cannot go back to invalid. Once this product is in invalid status, you cannot put them directly in obsolete. Because obsolete status is used, for example, first the data has to be released, so you start the production, you finish the production, for example, the product is already not commercialized, so you put it in obsolete. You don't delete them from the database, okay? You keep their data, but it's obsolete. You are ready to new time for that. And that's it. So what we have seen now we have for import, advanced search, explore, explore is just swap turntable, okay? I don't remember if I told you or if I showed you or not. You remember if I wanted to explore it, I have to double click on the table or on the symbol to see if there's something. If I don't want to explore it, I use this sub turntable. If I don't have this sub turntable icon activated, I won't be able to explore it on the turntable. I have to activate it. And then by double clicking. Okay? So to display different lifecycle operations, we can use the compass, the different quadrants. North, west, south, east. Okay? I think that's it. Lifecycle operations, we have seen maturity status, version, OMC. Any questions? So, we were quite fast. It's 20 past 2 o'clock. We have still 10 minutes. If you have no question, I will start the new chapter. The lesson number 4. So today, when we finish this live session, you can continue self-training using the companion. Just for your information, we did only the lesson number 1, number 2, and we are going to do the lesson number 4 from your companion. We haven't seen the lesson number 3, okay? We will do it tomorrow and I will explain you tomorrow why. What we are going to see in lesson number 4, so finally we passed through all these introductions and we passed really to the authoring window. So we are going to see how to create edit, design objects, how to create what are these engineering corrections and how to build them and how to propagate data. So I will start. So how the authoring window looks like, you have seen it, but just for your information, again, you have different workbench, what we call workbench tools, with different features. We have this robot, the D, we have the compass, and we have the B bar, we call it bar. This S is search bar, P is propagate bar, C is collaborate bar, and E is inform. So, how to access this authoring window? I will show you. How to access this authoring window? We have seen. Once I explore my data, for this one, I can click on either here. I use the contact menu and I can open file. I have two possibilities. Either I use open or open advanced. I will start first with open advanced. Okay? With open advanced or open, we switch from a silver layer to authoring window. When open advanced proposes you different options. If I let the given options checked as they are on the window, I would make the same as if I would click directly on open. It means when I click on open, not open advanced, I will in fact open all visible expanding children and 3D shape representation. If I check expanded children from the database, because not all children can be placed here on the turntable, because on the turntable, we can set the maximum number of displayed components. I would load also those data which are not visible here on the turntable with this option, but also I will load the associated file or links file from the database. Let this option check with 3D shape representation. It means I will load only 3D data. So CAD data 3D. If I load without any representation, I will load only what we call references, only the tree, which can be used only for the bomb generation, nothing else. But if I check the option with all representation, I will load all documents which are within this assembly. You're asking yourself what can be loaded more within this assembly in authoring window, which looks like CATIA, or it's like we can, because you know that now in V6 under the tree you can find also drawings, simulations. These things are included in this all representation. I will open it only with 3D representation. It's the same like doing open. So I click on open and I directly opening my selected assembly in the authoring window. I said info bar, no, it's impact bar, collaboration bar, or collaborate bar, used for the chat and so on, for co-review, co-design, and propagate. So, this is one way how to access this outline window, but we can do also differently. If I click on PLA access new, I can start the new, it depends what you want. Product, 3D part, or drawing. Okay, or many others. If I want to start a new product or new 3D part, I can do that. So this is how we build new part or new assembly. So again, I will close everything. Just to not, I close everything. I go to pure access, new, I want to do 3D part, I click on next. I can choose whatever I want. If I want to make a drawing, I can select the drawing. I put the name of my drawing. I will be the drawing, the name. I have some drawing information, so it's similar to the size. Select your standard, the file or paper format. Okay, and you click on finish. So, like this, you created a new object of the type drawing, and you can make the drawing. Okay. Now we can start also the 3D part. Same, I put the name, 3D part, digital presentation, okay. I repeat, characteristic. If I want to enable library design or not, don't want, I can finish later. So this way we create new object. If I just close it like this, I will not find this object in my database because these objects were not saved in the database. Okay? Because I did not perform propagate. So this is the way I will keep it. So how to access to outline window? So one way was to use the contextual menu to open the existing object, existing model in the outline window, or we can start a new object. Now regarding the structure. Just for summarizing, so the parts, V5 parts are considered or the V5 part change first its name convention and the icon, so it's called 3D part, and they are considered as they are a part of product category. Means if I want to search the 3D part, and I want to use the search bar, I have to type product. Okay? Here I will have as well okay, here I can see that I have only assembly or product, right? But I can have as well 3D part. Okay? Because 3D part can include the 3D shape and drawing. Okay, this is important. So what we call V5 part reference is called 3D shape. It's under representation category, and drawing, it remains drawing, but here drawing can be seen in the tree of your 3D model. Okay. So I have shown you how to create this new object. We have seen that. I will just skip it. Now we are going to see how to attach a document. So I will come back to my CATIA. I have, for example, this
we are able to save not only CAD data, but also Word document, Excel, PDF, any description we want. How to do that? You explore your assembly, and then using the contextual menu, you are able to either to see the attached document if there is any. I click on show if there is nothing, or I can attach the specific document to this model. How to attach it? Okay, I can attach it from search. Okay, I can search the document. Okay, there is nothing. Or from file. In this case, I will need to import it. And I can import it. I have no idea. For example, I will import for example, server V6 document to that. I will name it and P. Here we go. Finish. So I attach the text document to this assembly and click on OK. And you can see that my document is working. Now if I click on, if I use contextual menu, like I'm selecting document, attach document, no attach but show attach document, sorry. Show attach document. I can display my attach document and I can as well open it directly from CATIA V6. Okay? I can this way attach PDF any file. You can see that, but I think we can attach many file formats. And there are, you can see what can we attach. We can attach almost everything we want. Okay? So this way we attach the document. From file or from the session. Let's go see how to insert the existing object in your assembly. Again, I will open my assembly in my outline window. Okay, I have this outline window, and I want to import the existing part. Sorry for that because I'm not in the right workbench. I switch back to the assembly design. I want to insert the existing for the 3D part, 3D shape and drawing. If I want to insert existing 3D part, I select it, so I go to insert existing 3D part. I have to select the assembly where I want to import it, so the parent assembly, put it, and the new window appears. I have two tabs here, from search or from session. From session means if I have already this part open in the window is already open in my current V6 session, I click on verifying data and CATIA will propose. Okay. There is something, so I select the part from the list and I click on OK. You can see that is important. Okay. If, for example, I want to insert existing 3D part from somewhere else because I did not open it, I can click on from search and I will search in my database. Of course, I can use again the standard search or advanced one. I have no idea. For example, I use this and I use the positive. Okay. Is it okay? This is how to import it. Do you have any questions? No? Okay. I will continue with engineering connections because it is new, totally new, compared to V5. What are these connections, engineering connections? I'm sorry, I will read the definition we've written on the top of the slide. So an engineering connection defines a set of constraints between components and a type of kinematic joint between the two components. What does it mean? In fact, in V6, you are creating at once the assembly constraint and joint when you are using DMU kinematics. What is the consequences for you? For a designer who wants to perform the kinematic simulation or any other, he doesn't need to recreate joint or to transform the assembly constraint into a joint. Imagine you have defined a constraint of coincidence, okay, in assembly workbench. So it's a geometrical constraint, coincidence. You switch to DMU kinematics and you have to recreate the cylindrical joint. In V6, this is not necessary. You will not need to do that. Because once you create this coincidence, CATIA V6 will understand that it's similar or equivalent to cylindrical joint. Is it clear? Of course, there are different symbols. So which collection? So which collection can we do? Usually find rigid, spherical, cylindrical, planar, prismatic, revolute collections we can create. We can create as well point on curve and point surface collection. This point surface exists already in DMU kinematics in V5. Those who are facing competition and you are competing with them, DMU kinematics in from V5 with someone else. In many cases, our competition are not able to define this type of collection. Okay. Of course, to this collection, we have the equivalent constraint and geometry. Okay, so as I mentioned, for example, it's considered between line to line. Like rigid is equivalent to fixed constraint. So it means when you create this fixed constraint, rigid collection is automatically defined. We will see that. So just an example. So the example how we define it as engineering connection. Imagine this example of piston bit and connecting rod. You start to build the assembly. Of course, in the beginning, you create your coincidence constraint. When you create your coincidence constraint, in fact, the equivalent engineering connection will be what? Who can answer me? I want to ask someone because I want to ask someone to avoid the sleep. Andrei Pulia. Are you there? Andrei? Andrei? Captain?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I create my confidence constraint. What is the equivalent in connection, kinematic connection? What will be the equivalent engineering connection or kinematic connection or joint? When I create only confidence constraint. I was talking about it just a couple minutes ago. It's equivalent to
continue to create my assembly. So I'm adding additional geometrical constraints, and I add the abstract constraint. What will happen in this case? How my connection will change in this case? Well, it's impossible for now. I have the constraint constraint, so in fact, when I have the constraint constraint, I blocked 2 degrees of translation. In fact, I blocked I blocked 2 translation and 2 rotation. Okay. When I add the offset constraint, I block 1 translation more. It means that I have 3 translation blocked plus 2 rotations. So everything what can I do is I can only rotate around 1 axis, 1 given axis. I cannot even translate. It will be the equivalent to cylindrical. No, not cylindrical, revolute, sorry. Revolute, okay? So it works this way. In fact, in V5, for those who are familiar with DMU kinematics, you could, when you created your assembly constraints, you could transfer them to kinematics joint. But it was very manual one. Okay, so in V6 we don't speak anymore about constraints or about joints. We are speaking about engineering connection. I will come back here and I will show you. I have my assembly. Not a nice one. I will close it. And I will open something else. Open it. Oh, okay, I will keep it as it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm in an assembly workbench, and I was talking about engineering collection. So engineering collection, you are creating when you click. I don't see that. Here. When you click on this icon. What is the difference between V5 and V6? First thing is that I will start from here. You can select what will move and what will not move. It means you don't need to fix the whole assembly. You create a fixed constraint. In fact, here in V5, always the first selected object moves. Okay, if you use snap or I don't know, any connection, or we create the constraint, always the first part which moves. Still, it was not fixed, of course, fixed. So here, how to do that? There are 2 different ways how to build this engineering collection. First way, I will work in the way of assembling. Somehow I have the philosophy. I'm thinking more about assembling my part. I think this is better. Here. I select my first plan, the second plan, and automatically I created what you can see here, the contact connection. Okay, I can, of course, if I add the measure, I can put it in the driving. I can change the orientation. Okay, I have CATIA the solitary join. Here there is an error. Impossible. Why is it possible? I think impossible is because the holes are not overlapping. Okay, I will select the other. I will select this and this. I have the feeling that my holes are not. Yes, that was okay. These two parts are not. Okay, now I understand why I could not perform the. Okay, when I want to edit it, I just double click on that. Now I can select the. I select to safety. I can see that there is an error, so I can change the type of geometric constraint. Okay, so I go on the icon, I click on right button of my mouse, and CATIA can propose me change it to, for example, I will select the parallel. You can see now it's stone, and my engineering connection was changed to edit. So it's equivalent to edit right now. Okay? This is one way of creating engineering connection. So you could see that here, when in the first case, I was not thinking about the type of connection I want to create, but I was more thinking about the geometry. I want to have these two parts, this rod and this connector like this. But imagine I want to make a simulation, and I know that there has to be, for example, there has to be a kind of, let's say, resolute join. What will happen in this case? You could see that this icon became red, no more green, as it was in the case when I click on here. My rocker is green. It means I can modify the type of connection. If I select the type of join I want to create, kind of connection, I want to create the level with. So now I will start to select, to create geometrical constraint till I don't satisfy this type of join, this type of connection. I have this exclamation here saying that I have to continue because it was not done. Now I satisfy the condition, I build my relevant condition, I can click on OK. Is it clear for you? So there are two ways of creating engineering connections. What are these engineering connections? Okay, I hope yes. Okay, you have no more assembly constraints like in this one. So I will finish this lesson, and it's just the last chapter of this lesson, propagating the data. What does it mean? Propagate, and it's a kind of safe database. Okay, so you have example number one. You have your current session of data. You click on the
possible, but you have to understand it, you have to see behind something similar to what we call V5 backup. In case of a crash, so you use the local state to be able to restore your data. Imagine, it means that once you are locked to the database, you use the local safe. You cannot disconnect voluntarily from the database. Okay? I repeat, you cannot imagine behind something that, okay, I will search for one file, I will save it locally, and then I will disconnect from the server, and I will break it, I will save it locally, and when it's finished, I will propagate it to the database. No, it's impossible. Because once you are locked to the database, you cannot unlock without locking to the database, you cannot launch V6. That's why we test with all of you if you reach the V6 server. Okay? In fact, if what safe works, for example, you are already locked, you are already running your V6 session, but in between, for example, your server crashed or something, okay? But you, as a client, you want to continue to work, you can continue conference without leaving the safe. Okay? That's it. So propagate. What is the default directory or for local data? Do we need to know it?
No, you don't need to know it. No, it's not. Yes, we will. I must be
the local data, data is sometimes never directly, but
yes.
The encoding, right?
Yes. Yes.
You have to execute like
No.
So how can you restore it?
When you, in fact, in case of crash or something, if you don't, because I will switch to CATIA, okay? If I want, for example, I have a file and I want to cut. Now I have a good connection with the server, okay? If I want to close the window, CATIA asks me to propagate the data. So I will, in this case, I will propagate it to the database. Imagine
Joining conference.
if server crash, in this case, in between, to save your work, you use the local safe. Your server crash, and if you want to close the window, you won't be able to propagate because your server is not running. Your server is off, in other words, okay?
So
but you want to go home because it's already, for example, 4 o'clock, you want to go home, but the server is not running, so you cannot let it as it is. So you close your V6, your data are saved locally, but you have no idea where it's called. And the next time, in the morning, when you come back to the office, you connect to your V6, and CATIA will ask you to restore the data. It's like Windows. It's something similar to Office 2007 nowadays. You know, when your Word or PowerPoint data document crashes, then automatically it's restored.
Or we can work overnight.
You can try to work overnight, yes. But it's just a draft approach.
It's safe.
Yes, it's safe. Well, not really, because you already have a processor on the computer. You will make it think too much. Really. Okay. So that's about local safe. You need to understand behind it. You can, okay, because you can see once I for me it's impossible to disconnect voluntarily from the server. You see, there is no possibility to disconnect from the server. You can see after, you can check all options. There will not be possibility to disconnect from the server, and I will continue to work locally. Okay? This is the purpose of local safe. The rest you can read after the PowerPoint presentation. I will finish with propagate. Okay, I will go to CATIA. Sorry, I have too much icons here. So I finished work on those data.
refresh window, of course, what I can do, well, first, I can update it first. So this is the update. All files are updated, and I click on propagate in the bar, propagate bar. I click on propagate, and the files are stored to the database. If I make modification and I want to propagate, yes, I select the assembly, I click on the propagate. The propagate window appears on my screen. And what can I see? This, I can see my famous collaborate tools. I have shown you, you can change the maturity settings. For example, this one, try to propagate, let's say I want to change the maturity and I want to release it. Okay, I want to release this file. Okay, I want to create a, let's say, a kind of new version. I can do that as well. I can use a filter. Okay. I can exclude the files from the propagation, and I perform the modification only on this assembly. But I did not change the design on the part. But, I will only propagate the assembly and the part, But if I don't want, if I want to exclude it, I can simply exclude it. Or later, if I change my mind and I want to, however, propagate it, I can do that. Okay? I can select even the applicable date. So to use the kind of automatic propagate. And I can propagate it as new if I want to create a new object. This I can propagate, and it's done. We finish the propagation. I will come back. So you can see here the message, propagation successful, and so on and so on. And come back. This was about propagate. We haven't seen the filtering. Too few pounds. I hope you trust me. Just for the filtering. If in case you have a very huge assembly, you have a huge list, you want to filter it, you can do that. Locally, this is how your data are restored. When if ever you have the interaction or something, your data you retrieve them automatically when you will collect meetings. Any questions? Joseph,
Yes.
if I understand well, there is no way how to work without connection.
No.
So the only way how to have, for example, separate part is to save it as 3D tunnel.
Yes. For authoring, yes. For example, authoring. But then you will need to every time to import it to your current session. But anyway, you can say that there is one thing you can do that, do this, but without the connection to the database, you will not be able to launch V6. Yes. In fact, what you will do is that, for example, you are a designer and you are not sure about your design, so you prefer to work locally. It means you work on your data, you export it to the 3D self-authoring, but when you want to re-import or rework them again, you will need to connect anyway to the server. You will need to re-import it.
Can I use this 3D tunnel in V5?
You can, but import them to V6, they will appear as a standard predicts about V5. It means you will not have the history tree, you won't be able to edit them. In this case, I will come back to CATIA session. If you want to export your V6 data and reverse them in V5, you have to go to Tools, Utility, and you can downbar to V5. But frankly speaking, I'm not able to. Please do not ask me if you will retrieve all download the compatibility. I'm not able to answer you right now what will happen with engineering connection exactly, for example. Do you understand me?
But yes. But anyway,
it has to be tested. I will not test it.
my time expect that the data won't be editable. It won't be editable. Even if I download the data from V5 to V5.
Yeah, from R90 to R16. It's the same engine.
Yeah.
But you can export as well or in a step horizon.
It's interesting that now we can have all drawings, even drawings of assembly, drawings of car parts in one container, in one product.
Yes. Here you can see
We don't need to look for drawings which are involved.
yes.
So we can have all things we want.
Exactly. Okay. Any other questions or remarks? Okay, guys. I will not. What we have seen in this lesson, we have seen how to start a new object or create a new form. PM access new, and you select the type of object you want to create. You can, of course, import the existing object using the insert menu, and then you can insert the existing object from the session or from the database using the search engine. You will have seen how to create engineering connections, and we were talking about the propagate. Propagate is kind of save of your data to your database. Local save is for it's something like automatic backup. Okay, you cannot backup. You cannot work locally. If you have no more questions, I will look to our agenda. In fact, we finished with this lesson creating an editing object. We finished.
Mute on.
What can I propose is
Mute off.
we will not make the lesson summary because I think we did it. There are some, please, what you will do today is review the lesson number 1, lesson number 2, and lesson number 4. There are some exercises inside. Please check and do these exercises if possible. Good. Okay? One remark, do not try to make the collaboration. You don't have the connection to the collaboration server. I will explain it tomorrow why. Tomorrow morning we will start with the collaboration and with, of course, methodology, and so on. I don't remember. We can see. We can have a look. The agenda of the day 2. Of course, I will start with the collaboration. I will want you to do some exercises. It will be more or less the master exercise. And we will see how to manage the product structure, how to do the catalog, assembly features, and the assembly symmetry, what is totally new in meeting. Okay, and then the exercises again. This is the agenda for tomorrow. Day 3, we will continue the lesson, and day 4 will be more or less your days of work.
you will be able to continue, and it will be your free day when you will do exercises and work on your own. Okay? Is it clear for everyone?
Joseph, I have one question. Could you hear me? Hello?
Once again?
I have one question.
Yes, I'm listening.
What will happen when I will propagating my modified date, for example, to the database, and at the same time the connection between my computer and the database will be broken? But what will happen with the date? Is it possible that the data will be corrupt or not?
Normally you should be able to restore your data.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to restore your data. Normally, CATIA V6 before crashing should make the local safe. But yes, normally that's the answer. Okay, then of course
Okay. Yeah.
Regarding the training materials we have seen today, I use the compiler materials. Of course, I used only light version of presentation. It is everything I said you. I said you something more, maybe even it's written in the compiler. I skipped this PowerPoint presentation because I think it's quite difficult for you already to follow hours and hours of WebEx. And yeah, that's it.
Will we get those presentations we saw, for example, today and tomorrow?
Okay. Guillaume's presentation, we will share Guillaume's presentation, but my presentations are online on the company.
Yes, I know, but
for now,
cannot say it.
I know. For now, no, I cannot share them. I can't share them. But with the time, you will have all material as for V5. Let's say we are starting smoothly.
And last question, maybe we will talk about it tomorrow. But I had assembly, small assembly with one part and drawing, and I made a new version of it. And now in the assembly there is old version of the part. How to change it to
You have to use the simple replace. One thing is in how to say measuring in V6 is not the same like measuring in Smarty. Okay? Because in Smarty, every time you make the checkout,